Hey Vibe Tribe, welcome to a new video, y'all. The internet is getting really crazy. And when I tell you we're in the age of the digital flying monkey, baby, next level. Have you heard of the flying monkey? Ever heard of the flying monkey? In the Wizard of Oz, where they obey the evil queen? Online, they're followers who do the abuser's bidding. No proof needed. And the reason why this matters is because digital platforms turn random strangers into abusers' army. Slick tactics make it harder to spot and even harder to fight. Today we're exploring why these methods are effective, how they work psychologically, and steps you need and lawmakers can take to stop them.
I keep trying for you. I gave you all the love I
Again, my name is
got.
Ebony, also known as Evolving Eb. I'm the owner of the Vibe Collection, which is an online spiritual shop that specializes in crystal waist beads and crystal anklets. And also, I have created H.E.R, which is a healing community where I am spreading the word and helping the girls heal from DV, but also do whatever they need to do to avoid it. If you're an auntie like myself, please like the video and share it with the nieces. We want to get this information out to them so that they can avoid all the things that we had to go through. Your girl didn't go through this in vain. I'm trying to help the girlies avoid the bullshit. And also, when you educate yourself, you can hold yourself accountable with grace, and that is the only way we can move on in peace. Let's get into it. Why these tactics work so well. I'm talking about the digital flying monkeys. I want you to consider the situations that have arose lately. Let's think about the Tory Lanez. Y'all know DJ Academics is like king flying monkey for him. Let's talk about Diddy. Let's talk about DDG. All of the comments, and let's be honest, y'all, even when speaking about DDG, there are also some aunties who are being flying monkeys for Haley as well. We got to keep it a buck here. Protecting the niece is one thing. Teaching her, holding space for her to heal is one thing. Attacking a young man is another. Let's get into why these tactics work so well. First, psychological insight. Let's talk about DARVO. DARVO stands for deny, attack, reverse victim, and offender. It distorts perception. Research shows DARVO decreases perceived offender responsibility and makes victims seem less credible. Teaching DARVO awareness can reverse its impact. Now, let me tell y'all, and y'all probably heard me talk about this in some other videos because this just recently happened, y'all, and I'm batching right now, so stick with me, but this is an example of what I'm talking about. I commented on a video about Cassie that said that victims tend to adopt their abuser's traits as a means of survival. Baby, I was called an obese granny. I was told to shut my bitches up. The list just goes on. The comments are still coming in. Like so many crying, laughy emojis. So many shut the F ups. Like or crazy work, right? And then that's when I was like, oh yeah. I had already decided this was a topic that needed to be talked about. But rather than respond because I said what I said, let me just go ahead again and do what I do and never mind the men, the abusers, and focus my energy on teaching, again, the victims and survivors. DARVO is exactly that. Deny, attack, reverse victim, and offender, baby. The way they be like, no, Cassie's just a terrible person and she's violent. And I'm like, did we all see the video of this girl getting stomped out in the hotel hallway? I guess. Also, another reason these tactics work is the power of echo chambers. Followers amplify messages emotionally, often more than facts. None of the comments, y'all, had any factual context, any stats to support it, any therapeutic or therapist psychological terms to support it. None of that. It was all emotion, which is why I'm just getting to shut the F up, shut your ass up, you fat overbeast grandma, and all of the other things. Narcissists get their supply by proxy, admiration, and protection via followers. Last but not least, stat snapshot. 59% of U.S. teens have experienced cyberbullying. 91% of victims report emotional harm. 60% happening on social media. This isn't isolated. This is systematic. Gone are the days where we only had to worry about family and friends. Do you know how easy it is to just cut off a family or a friend of your abuser compared to having to dodge negative comments or attacks on social media? And this doesn't just go for like celebs. I'm going to speak about celebs because it's what's trending. It's what you guys can understand. Y'all not going to understand each individual situation. But if we wanted to really think about the fact that people are going viral every day just for their own personal stories, and this is happening to them. And I don't think the laws have quite caught up with the degree of social bullying that occurs with victims, especially DV victims. Let's get into the tactics, right? The little slick tactics that they use online. Tactic number one was the subtle Darvo. An example would be Tory Lanez reposting vague content posts or live ruminations that deny wrongdoing while painting himself as the injured party. They ate it up. This man has been found guilty and behind bars, and they are still attacking this woman like she cannot move on. And let's add context to the fact that Meg never even filed charges. It wasn't even Meg that filed charges. If Meg was called to the stand, Meg had to tell the truth or she was hanging herself. She was going to hang herself. Tactic number two, dog whistling. Imagine people twisting your story. Implies permission to harass without saying. Okay, the dog whistling is heavy. There are so many subtle, and I'm gonna tell you who is a king of this. DDG. I'm sorry, king of it. Baby, that dog whistle is silent, but it's very strategic, and people eat it up every single time. Fake receipts, edited clips, or screenshots gain immediate traction. Truth becomes second priority. The way we believe, and I'm going to say we because sometimes I do too, but the way we believe anything we see on social media is wild, especially knowing. I wish I knew the stats on this. I'm almost positive 60% of the stuff that we see on social media is not accurate. And I'm probably low on the number, y'all. And I'm only low on the number because I don't know the stats, but I guarantee you it's probably more closer to like 75 to 80. Last but not least, historical rewriting. She's just a bitter clout chaser. Defines your identity before you even speak. If the man or the abuser has any type of clout, popularity, love on social media, and he goes out and calls you bitter or a clout chaser of any sort, you're almost losing immediately, even before you even tell your story. Sometimes it's not even worth telling the story, y'all. Sometimes you gotta say, the truth will come out without me needing to do anything and just step back. Because if one thing we can learn, and I'm going to get in, and I have another video about it, and I'm going to create another video about it, controlling your emotions, and how Hailey's lack of controlling her emotions and her reactive abuse gave her abuser lots of receipts. Let's talk about a few case studies. Tory Lanez, Meg Thee Stallion. After the 2020 shooting allegation, Tory repeatedly denied wrongdoing, reframed himself as, I just want to add this in too. While he repeatedly denied wrongdoing, he also was caught on audio apologizing, reframed himself as a target and questioned Megan's credibility. And I'm going to tell you why he did this. He did this because he knew that he had enough flying monkeys out here in the social media. Again, biggest flying monkey of it all created a whole new set of sub-flying monkeys, DJ Academic. It's classic Darvo. Online responses stirred doubt even though Megan was believed in court. Let's talk about what matters. Let's talk about the fact that none of these flying monkeys online have any type of experience in law or crime. Yet, they had a lot to say even though this man was found guilty. Let's talk about Diddy facing legal trouble under RICO charges. Y'all, the amount of people that say this ain't RICO, this just DV. And I'm like, you feel like even if it wasn't RICO and it was just DV, that he don't deserve to do any time, even though you just saw that video of that man kicking the shit out of her? Crazy work. Crazy work. His team used social media to question the integrity of the accusers and reclassify everything as old rumors or media bias. Next up, Next up, DDG and Holly Bailey. DDG responded to abuse allegations with minimal rebuttal while fans weaponized. She's jealous. Shift blame to Holly without facts. The tactic, silent defense and loud followers. I just want to point out two different situations here. While Tory is a little bit more active in riling up and fueling his monkeys, DDG was a little more strategic and quiet. And that in turn also did it in a more slicker way. Real life impacts on on digital flying monkeys: suicidal thoughts, your mental health toll. So anxiety, depression, PTSD, 14.5% higher thoughts in cyberbullying victims. No exit button, so abuse stays in your pocket, follows you wake. It's relentless, augmented by algorithms and global networks. So again, God forbid, you ain't gotta be a celebrity, but God forbid you go viral. It's almost like you have to just literally get off because there's no way to avoid it. You know what I'm saying? Versus if this man's family and friends were being his flying monkeys, you could separate yourself. You can create a little bit more boundaries there that did not necessarily impact your day-to-day life to that degree. How do we protect ourselves? First, privacy. Privacy first. Lock down your social media accounts. I don't do it. I'm not really being harassed, y'all, right? I'm saying, like, I'm not being harassed with the exception of when I decided I want to comment on a situation that I know is going to send these niggas flying monkeys my way. Document everything: screenshots, timestamps, users' names. Document it all and keep it safe. Block and report. Don't feed the trolls or explain yourself. When I tell y'all, I responded to like the first two people, but then it was like every time I would open social media, I would be flooded. Comments. And then when they started getting more disrespectful, I had to say, you know what, Ab? No, we're not doing this. At one point, I wanted to delete it because I just didn't want to continue to be bombarded every time I opened it. But it was a reason why I stepped into this purpose, right? I stepped into this purpose knowing that I was going to get backlash. I waited 7 years to step into this purpose to make sure I was equipped mentally and emotionally to deal with it. I had to be like, yeah, girl, nah. I said what I said. And also what helped me was when people would comment and relate what I said to their own personal experiences. It reminded me that I was in purpose and to not worry about the people who were miserable, who just really wanted to comment something negative because it triggered something in them that had absolutely nothing to do with me. Real world support. Trust people, therapists, and legal counsel. Y'all, I did a video, you guys, and I'm going to tag it in here, where I said maybe it's not time to tell your story. I need y'all to understand, do not jump on social media quick to tell your story and expect support. You're going to get some support, but you're going to get a mass number of hate. You're going to get a mass number of, girl, you're stupid. Girl, it could never be me. Why would you do that? I would say, I'm surprised. I'm still a little taken back sometimes by the victim blaming, y'all. I ain't even gonna hold y'all. I still be like, wow. We're really going to focus our attention on her inability to protect herself, right? Or her lack of knowledge as to her being love bombed or ignoring the red flags. But we're going to completely skip over the intent. Because let's be clear, abuse is intent to control. We're going to skip over the intent of the abuser. Sure, it happens every day. Last but not least, reclaim your narrative. Speak when ready. I want you to think, if I tell my story and I'm not supported, how am I going to feel? If I share my story and I'm attacked, how am I going to feel? Please do not compromise your mental health. It might not be the time. Again, it took me 7 years, y'all. 7 years before I started speaking out. And if we want to talk about after that, when I ended up with my donor, my daughter's turning 5 and it's just coming out. Take your time. You owe no one your story. And understand that even speaking out doesn't mean they're going to believe you. So if your abuser has spoke out and you feel like, oh, you need to go defend yourself, it is not guaranteed they're going to believe you. Sometimes just sitting back quietly is the best way to win. Sometimes the abuser talking out, he will tell on himself. Please don't try to meet him. Don't. We cannot meet tit for tat. It's not healthy. Last but not least, you're not alone. Social media is loud, y'all, but the truth is stronger. Let's elevate your clarity. I wish that lawmakers and platforms would take this in consideration. It's a different day and time. There need to be some updated laws to protect victims with social media abuse. And hopefully that will come in time. But if not, do what you got to do to protect yourself. Go back to them tips I just gave you. Until next time, love yourself, protect your energy, and deal with life's bullshit with grace and gratitude, girl. Love ya. Bye.
I keep trying.